Hey you, before the video starts, consider dropping a like, a comment, and maybe consider subscribing. This really does help the channel grow. On to the video. Hey guys, it's Maine here, backing up with another account review. Before the video starts, I just want to say I kind of miscounted the amount of reviews I did on stream on Saturday, so I had to record this kind of during the week. My apologies. Anyways, this stream, I want to do at least 3, maybe 4 account reviews. I'm going to hold myself to that. I'm going to try to do 3 or 4. But that way I have content for the week and the week after. I also wanted to make a video discussing the event, but I kind of wanted to make that towards the end of the event. Get a full retrospective on it. Overall, like I said, I think it's been a lot of good, a little bit of bad. Overall, I think it was a really good event. I had some issues with the post update after, but we'll get into that when we get into that. Also, for those of you who are on the account list, the review list Discord here, I'm kind of straying away from Idleon efficiency. The reason being is that there's not a lot of tools on efficiency compared to Toolbox. It seems Toolbox has more user-friendly quality of life updates, has a lot more resources available for me to really judge an account. So for that reason, if you see your name here at all, if you're on this list, if you're anyone here, please DM me, give me a Toolbox link. I'll be sure to do an account review on Toolbox because, like I said, it has a lot more information, and I think we can gain a lot more from Toolbox than we can Idleon efficiency. It feels kind of bare bones, so sorry to efficiency, just Toolbox is better. Anyways, we'll move on. We'll do the account review here. Today we have Electroberti's account because I have a Toolbox link for you. No particular reason why I chose you over the others, just, well, actually there is a particular reason. The particular reason is Toolbox. Anyways, we'll move on. As always, for anyone that's kind of whenever I see shrine levels around 23 plus, I usually think you're pretty at nearing end game, if not already at the end game. Also, stamps at 15k, bubbles at 68k kind of gives me an indication you're kind of done with World 6. You're nearing more grindy aspects and I guess maintenance mode for your account. So when I see this kind of stuff, it kind of points me in the direction that you want help kind of min-maxing your account. You want help kind of looking at what aspect can I focus on to really catch up to the people who are like 0.5, 0.1% tome or something like that. If you're really into it. And if I look right now, you're at 5%. 5% I consider to be end game. I know our Discord role is 0.1% for true actual end game. But if you're at top 10%, by and large, you're pretty end game. You've done a lot to help progress your account. You've done just about everything imaginable to get your account to pretty good shape. You're doing really well. I mean, you have a 64x drop rate. That's pretty end game. So if you're wondering what stage of progress am I at? You're pretty end game. By all accounts, you're pretty end game. I know a lot of people in Discord, in comments, in the Idleon community will tell you you're not end game because you're only 5%. But think about that. You are better than 95% of all Idleon players. That's pretty good. Anyways, so when I give advice to you, it's going to be very end game. It's going to be very min-maxy. It's going to be very grindy stuff. So keep that in mind going into this review. So obviously, looking at this, kind of my immediate attention is looking at the most recent update, the anniversary update, where we got a lot more carry capacity. We got a little more bags. We got a little more inventory space. That means you can previously max stamps, you can go back and upgrade them again with 90% cost reduction. So a lot of these are pretty blue because you have a lot more inventory space to it. So I would go back and really focus on things like multi-tool stamp, things like ladle stamp, just to get even higher levels of them because you can fit more into your bags. Also, you're not a Cavern 15 yet because you don't have the Study Hall stamp and you don't have the Cavern Resource stamp, which require Cavern 15. It drops from the Ancient Golems. So that's going to be something you need to focus on and try to divert your attention on trying to get Explorer 15. The best way to do that is probably not actually putting your opals on Explorer, but rather focusing on other stuff like the Studier. The Studier is only taking 248 million EXP for you to upgrade. You can get a lot more study rate out of this. You're only at 1500 right now. That kind of tells me you can divert more opals, more EXP on the Studier and try to up that. But real quick, before I judge you too harshly, let me see your overall point investment. And actually, let me go over to the Cavern to show you kind of better point investment in case we need to. So just kind of prepping for that. Let's see. So you have lamp wishes. This is okay, especially now because of the studier to kind of leave pips out of. I think it's completely fine to skip this as a bonus. It's only an additive 30%, so an additive 0.3 wishes per day at the lamp for every upgrade you get. So it'd be 30, 60, and 90 for the 3 pips invested. This is a really good one because it helps you with jars and pushing it. The more rupees you have, the more collectible find chance you have. It's one of the engineer upgrades. This is a fantastic one to have. This is really good to max out. This is really good to max out. This is good. Just keep it at 1. That's completely fine. This at 4, this at 5 is fine. Endgame, this becomes useful because you recently buffed it. This is absolutely great because you don't have Doot, so you need this. Forge capacity at 1 pip, that's great. This at 3 is perfect. This at 1 is fine. This at 1 is fine. And this at 5 is perfect. So overall, I think your pip investment for where you are is really good. I would argue you probably don't even need to spend that. You don't even need to really invest more into Conjurer. I would probably wait for the next +1 upgrade and swap off your bonuses into. Swap off your opals into the studier. I think you should probably invest more time here because you get more study rate, like I said. And the best thing for you to focus on is probably, what takes the least amount of time, excluding justice, because I hate the studier bonus for justice. It just increases the opal chance that you have, which in my opinion is just not that good. I would probably consider putting your studier on the den. The den will allow you to get this upgrade specifically gives you a score multiplier. It's essentially like a crystal mob with chocolate chip, just gives you a bunch of score multi, which means you can probably get another few opals out of here. Yeah, I mean, definitely if you level up the studier bonus another 2-3 levels, you can probably get the 17 million, maybe even further beyond that, to get just another opal here. Again, that's just more EXP you get on your on the person you're investing the opal into, so it's really good. The bell is an absolutely fantastic one at level 11. It's really, really good. You should have already reset your bell and tried to gone for a better distribution of bell bonuses. Looking at the bell, let me see kind of what you have. 1,000 on buckets, it's okay. Villager EXP is like the worst one here. All in all, really good, but coming from my perspective, because you're not focusing on trying to get to Cavern 15 and because you don't have Cavern 15 unlocked, I would consider resetting your bell here because you have 0 use for double torch chance. And I guess you kind of had zero use for bucket fill rate. I think you should aim for daily lamp wishes, extra rupee, and harp note gain. Those are going to be the best ones to focus on, and especially because you have the engineer upgrade for the 2x bell ring that can apply to the studier. So once you do 20 rings, there's a 20% chance or so that you get 2x the amount. So instead of getting 220 extra levels here, you actually can get 440 because of that schematic over here. Let me show where it is. Wherever this is, all the ringing in my ears, whenever the ringing is 25% to get 2x levels. So this does, and it can affect the studier bonus. So instead of getting the 220, you can get 440. So if you want to test your luck, press it a little bit. I would recommend doing a bell reset and worry about the stuff that you actually can use and take advantage of right now. Lamp wishes being one of them, especially late game. Lamp wishes is really good. Depending where you are in the jars, getting extra rupee chance might be good. Just kind of depends what collectibles you have and what you're aiming for. Okay, you have Rose World. That's pretty good. You have the Minecraft gem, which is also really good. Yeah, I mean, I think your collectible chance with the ornate jar is really low. So because your collectible, I mean, I can't see it because Toolbox is bugged out. I can't really see what your collectible chance is for this. But if you want to increase your collectible chance, it's going to be strictly increasing the amount of digits in each of the rupees. That's, again, one of the schematics you have for engineer. It is not advanced collection. Collect them all gives you a 1.02x chance to find a new collectible for every digit of rupees that you own. So every power of 10 essentially of rupee gets you more collectible chance or new find chance at collectibles. So getting more and more and more of this is one of the only scalable ways to get actual new collectible chance. So I would recommend doing that. But yeah, if you are looking to push that, which I mean, there's always a chance, there's always a reason to push collectibles because there's a few that you don't have that are pretty good. For example, more Mystic Ore, Villager EXP. There's Enchant Chance, the Inferno Droplet for finding collectibles, more more Rupee Power here, more Harp Notes. There's some really good ones that you have a chance to get, but in the same vein, there's also really bad ones that you don't want to get, such as the ones that don't work right now, the ones that boost a future cavern. So up to you. But if you are looking to, I guess, push jars a little bit, I would maybe, instead of focusing on trying to get new collectibles, focus on digits or a number of rupees that you have, and try to push that number higher so you have an even higher chance of getting a collectible. I know your chance is probably 0.01% right now. You may be able to push to 0.02 to have an easier time doing this. Also, for those who don't know, there's my inspect element there. For those who don't know, there is math on the wiki for how jar production works. It's not very intuitive, just by the way, as is most things in the game. Thank you to Sheepy, by the way, and the other wiki managers, and obviously Corndag and Tricks Bunny for helping break this down. But essentially the gist of it is, if you play Idleon, if you have it running, you're at a disadvantage for jars. The reason being is because if your jar production is relatively high and you produce more than 120 jars in a play session, you only have a 10% chance every time a jar gets produced to get turned into a medium jar. So when you get to 120 jars in the window, that's basically the max capacity of jars. And once you have 120, every jar production that you have has a 10% chance to turn that jar into a medium jar. Okay, so what happens when you have 120 medium jars? Nothing. You cannot make a jar higher than a 10x jar if your game is active. If you close the game and you go to bed and like 6 hours pass, there's a chance that you could get large jars. But if you play the game active and the game is open, you cannot get higher than a second tier jar. So keep that in mind. If you are trying to push specifically these collectible jars, your increased chance of finding a collectible is not going to come to fruition if you play the game actively all the time. You need to close the game for this mega jar to occur. So for that reason, I again would consider focusing on getting rupee digits as opposed to collectible chance right now. Just kind of for that reason. Outside of that, you kind of want to start ramping and scaling your villager EXP. So looking at sources like Bravery, looking at Justice, looking at Wisdom Monument, getting village, well, probably not Wisdom Monument. Wisdom Monument can screw off. But Justice specifically, I wouldn't go so ham on catching efficiency. Realistically, I need you to kind of stop, take a step back. What are you actually going to use catching efficiency on? It's not for atoms, because who uses flies for atoms, realistically? If you ever see a choice between catching efficiency and villager EXP 100% of the time. Actually, 90% of the time. If it's wisdom multi, maybe consider that instead. But you're also nearing the cap for wisdom multi, so I don't know. Maybe class EXP I'd choose over villager EXP, but that's kind of where I am in the game. But what I'm saying is you should probably rank villager EXP to be higher than where it kind of looks to be right now. It's what's going to push you over into Cavern 15. That's definitely one of your most immediate goals. What you want to do is try to get to Cavern 15 so you can not only get those stamps, but you can also get Dragon Warrior statue. It's well known by now, Dragon Warrior statue is an amazing statue for you to have for your account. So it's really, really, really important for you, especially for hole progress. I know you're going to be at Cavern 15. It's effectively the end of the hole, but getting statue bonus is going to increase your hole, is going to widen your hole so much bigger than it is right now, because it's going to scale villager EXP, and that's going to make it so you can get higher Belaya levels, higher studier levels, higher conjurer levels. If you're pushing that right now, stop. You can kind of get to Cavern 15, scale the villager EXP multi that you get from the statue here even higher, because you're going to have Dragon Warrior statue. So whatever kind of goal you're going for right now with conjurer, stop. Worry about Belaya a little bit, worry about Explorer, and try to push that as well. Okay, move away from the hole. We talked a lot about the hole. I don't want to talk about your hole anymore. It's kind of over talked about and everyone knows about it. So let's move on to bubbles. The bubbles are looking not bad. I think in terms of grindy bubbles, what I want to see, I want to see you aim some of these bubbles up to 90% where they're not, such as Hocus Chopus, for example. You can get even higher prints from Hocus Chopus if you can. I would also maybe consider doing candy clicking if that's something you're into, using atoms on things like Diamond Chef, on like Big P. Maybe less on Diamond Chef now because No Meal Left Behind's there. It's kind of a waste to put atoms on here when you could just sit and be passive on atoms. Anyways, Big P is probably better point investment is what I'm saying. You may want to consider again the scaling bubbles, trying to go back and get higher prints, because I imagine your atom generation right now is relatively low and it could be better. There we go, printer. Yeah, atom generation is pretty low and it's pretty sorrowful, which kind of makes sense why you're going for catching efficiency, because your print's gonna suck. Man, okay. Yeah, I think we did a rapid review and I was looking at this and I was like, wow, this is crazy. So, I mean, your atom generation is really low because you have 4 characters printing mob resources and your Beastmaster's printing flies. Like, okay. I don't even see you producing a lot of like refinery resources. I think you need to take a look at your 3D printer, reprioritize what your characters are printing, and focus on atom generation solely, because I gather you kind of need atom generation, because you can get like neon up, which is more atom cost reduction, so you can get higher helium levels. Helium gives you a little more skill efficiency, so you can get higher prints. But it also allows you to more efficiently click on higher level bubbles. I don't know if you're running out of atoms every day, but it sounds like it could be a problem. I don't know, but you should always aim towards getting your atoms higher. Also, not to mention, that's one of the things you can scale in the whole is cost of atoms for this right here. Like a 2.76 million atom cost is nothing nowadays. I want to see this cost like in the billions, like at least for someone of your caliber in the end game. Getting atom generations like really, really high, even for a dootless account, is very possible. Okay, we have roughly -2 billion donut kills. That's pretty impressive. But I would definitely finish Eclipsing World 6 and getting a lot more Glunko kills. Remember that you can take Deathbringer's Wraith. Actually, I realize I'm not even bone farming anymore. Excuse me. Also, for those who are watching, wondering why I'm doing Lampars, it's because it's a better AFK spot. I can't manage Deathbringer all the time to be 100% efficient on bone grinding. So if you are AFK and you're at the point where you have 100% accuracy and 100% kill chance on Lampars is actually pretty good. Anyways, going back to the account, remember that the gravestone for Deathbringer increases the respawn rates for Glunko. So if you are farming Death Note kills, obviously take off Wraith form, put all of your Bone Jump pickles on Deathbringer, and just sit there. Every 4 minutes or so, 5 minutes, even Glunko will spawn, making you able to stack up the Death Note here, allowing you to get even higher multi-kill per tier. Especially as you're gearing to get into Cavern 15, multi-kill is extremely important because multi-kill affects the Dragon Warrior statue, which makes farming it so much easier. So even though you're going to get like a 1% multi-kill per tier here, 2%, it all adds up and it's still really helpful for helping you push higher levels of Death Note kills for Glunko, more Dragon Warrior statue. Tower defense is good. I'm not going to harp on it. I'd maybe consider getting higher levels of Clash of Cans. It's usually the most point efficient tower defense. So the fact it's lagging behind things like Frosty Firefight, Acorn Assault, and the other ones it's just kind of pitiful. So you can definitely get this from 130 up to like 170, 180, maybe 160 even. I don't know. It just feels kind of disproportionate, your levels of tower defense here. Also gives you a little bit of meal speed, bit percent, farming XP, Jade Coin, Essence Gain. You get it up. I want to look at your buildings and let's see if you make the same mistake as most people. It seems like you know what you're doing and you are upgrading the shrines and getting this up to 200. So proud of you, man. Good job. Yep. Just remember this exists, and try to max it out. Aim to max it out. I would I don't know how long it's been since you did a V-Man speedrun, but I would consider doing a V-Man speedrun. Also, you are trying to go for Greenstacks, so let's see what to do about that. You need 28 or so. So let's go through and see what you can do pretty easily. This one, with the forge capacity increases we've got, this should be relatively easy. Same with this and this. This is extremely easy. This takes a little bit of active decay to do. This is also extremely easy to do. This is extremely easy to do. This requires you to retrap. This should be really easy for you to do. This should be really easy for you to do. This one right here, it takes a little bit of finessing. So you can, let me go ahead and show, I apologize for not making this full screen, but I don't want to show my face because it's nighttime and I look absolutely awful. But there's a little trick here you can do with boops. So if you go on Siegebreaker, there is a chance, so it might not happen here, but there is a chance that you can spawn a plunderous boop. So let's hope and pray that it does. Like I said, it might not, because again, it's a chance. And I don't think it happened, unfortunately. But yeah, there is a chance as you're playing Siegebreaker and you kill boops that it can spawn a plunderous boop. And the reason that's impactful for green stacking is because it has a 88 times drop reward. And one of the only things that boops can drop is the bone meal. Also, it'll be affected by multi-kill. So you drop a lot of this. So you drop 88 times the amount of bone meal that you would normally get. You drop, obviously, the multi-kill amount of bone meal. So you get a ton, and I mean a ton of bone meal. Like, I didn't even kill a plunderous mob, and I got almost 1 million there. So times that by 88, and that's roughly how much you would get from a plunderous mob. Not exact math, obviously. It's very incorrect. But you can spawn a plunderous mob, and the main point of me showing you that is because you can very easily green stack it within a few days just by going on Siegebreaker and killing it once a day, because you can. Also, this is also really easy green stackable. You already have a green stack of this. It's not going to count. You can buy this at shops. You can buy this at shops. These two, no, not so much. This is pretty green stackable. World 1 crystal farming on DK. World 1 crystal farming on DK, and I think this is well. World 1 crystal farming. This is World 2. Believe this is World 2 or World 3. This again, just buy it from the shops. Let's see. This you can buy from World 4 shop. This you can buy from World 4 shop. This you can buy from World 4. This from World 4. And yeah, I don't know how many that was. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna say 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 right here, 19, isn't there, yeah, 20 right there, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. I think it just brings us there, right? If you are trying to get a little bit more comfort zone, I think you can go on ES, or I think crystal farming for the small life potions as well. Let's see, where do they drop? So this is what I looked at when I was doing when I was trying to get green stacks. I was trying to figure out the drop sources for things, and when I look at if it's worth farming on DK versus farming on ES, I need to consider one thing. Is it in a crystal drop table? If it's in a crystal drop table, 100% of the time it's going to be DK. If it's not in a crystal drop table and it's specific to the mob, then it's going to be ES. Those are the only two rules you need to focus on. If it's crystal, DK. If it's not crystal, ES. That's it. That's the answer. If you want to farm something for green stacks, that's the only thing you need to really worry about. So R3B drops some poops and rats. This drops some nuttos, walking sticks, and wood mushrooms, and the shop. So what this tells me is I don't see a crystal carrot in here. So this is going to be ES farming. I'm probably poops and rats. So when it comes to which mob to farm it on, it's going to depend on what the drop rates look like for that mob. So for poops and rats, the small life potion drops quantity of 25 and a 1 in 2.5 drop chance in this drop table for poops and rats. If I look at R3C, this drops again 1.25 and a 1.25. So take your pick, whichever one. If I were doing this again, I would probably consider doing this on probably rats. The reason being is because they also dropped the quest item. I guess Clown's out. There was the other one, Instablab followers or something that rats also drop. I don't know, one of them. But yeah, I would consider doing it on rats because they also have that, assuming you get the quest state on ES. Same thing for the small mana potion, also drops from poops and rats. I'd maybe consider doing it on ES instead. Yeah. Anyways, I'll stop there. That's something for you to consider. It's obviously going to take a little bit of active time, but some of them are really passive. Like you just need to retrap a little bit. In a 24-hour time period, this should be done and easy. You had Worship Soul Charge, so getting the Dune Souls is extremely easy for you. This is going to take probably another few candies on your Siegebreaker or your Beastmaster. That should be relatively easy. You can use a candy here. You can use a candy here. You can use a candy here. You can 3D print this. This will take a few days because of Siegebreaker, but you can do that pretty easily. This, go to ES and active farm this. Oh, go on ES to active farm this and this. Yeah, some of the World 6 stuff you don't even have at 10 million. So a lot of these are really easy green stacks that you can focus on. Shouldn't take too much of your time, but again, just kind of look at your storage, kind of cross-reference at the wiki, see what the drop rates are, where they drop. If it's Crystal Mob, DK. If it's not Crystal Mob, ES. Make sure you have at least most of the upgrade vault stuff done, and it looks like you do. Getting your sigils done. You have the important ones, looks like maxed out. Files. Just my suggestion again. Make sure to use. I would, getting this file, I would probably wait until you have Dragon Warrior Statue. Dragon Warrior Statue, again, increases statue bonuses. It mostly impacts, the reason I'm mentioning the Soul Vial specifically is because it increased boost food effect. So this would scale the bonus of Soulable Gum to get you the thousands of percents of soul gain you would need to make that vial extremely easy. So before you go and spend your worship charge, consider getting to Cavern 15 and get the Dragon Warrior Statue. This should take really low effort, low amount of time to get this to 13 as a result of that increase. But for this, and this, I would just go on active ES, and obviously this will just take time, but this is a really important vial for you to get to 13, so I highly recommend it. Speaking of critters real quick, I do want to look at your farming because farming gives a ton for helping with your critter gain because it has base critters as a results of the amount of crops you have found. And you're pretty decently into glassy with a 2-second growth time, so I won't harp on you too much for your farming. It looks relatively good. Cooking. Okay. As with most people, a lot of your meals are taking less than 1,000 to upgrade, and you're kind of in passive mode, letting no meal left behind kind of impact your meals. Don't fall in this mistake because you're wasting essentially free no meal left behind procs. Right now it's hitting Nyanburger, so it's okay to let it hit Nyanburger, but go back, upgrade things like Yummy Peach Rings, upgrade Burn Marshmallow, simply because they are taking less than 1,000 ladles to upgrade even one level of this. It is extremely worth your time, considering going through and using ladles one by one. Remember that your cooking speed also increases with the amount of meal levels, plate levels that you have. So your meal level, you add all these up, that's your meal level. It is an exponential bonus based off your V-Man talent. So the more meal levels you have, the better off, more meal speed that you have. So if I look at your talents here, this is at 299, so it's 1.21%. Again, that's 1.0121, and that's to the power of whatever meal levels you have. So if you have 6,000, you probably don't have 6. Is it? Yeah, that's right. You have around 6,000. This is how much meal speed you have. I want you to take a look at that number. Okay, memorize it, ingrain it in your head, all the different digits. Now, if I take that same number and instead multiply it by 6250, you can probably get like 200 levels of meals pretty easily. Just kind of scale it back. Maybe I'm overestimating, but notice it like 3x's or so. you know, maybe 3x your meal speed. Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty big bonus. Just getting 100 levels is pretty significant, and I don't think that's unrealistic. I think you can easily get another 100 meal levels based off of, you know, what I'm seeing here. It's only 327, 625, 70, 121, 189. If it's less than 1,000, push it up. If it's less than 10,000, push it up, honestly. I think with how much cooking efficiency we have available to us now, with how much skill efficiency sources we have, this should be a relatively easy thing for you to push. And I mean, you should be hitting like at least 10,000 ladles every single day on a Blood Berserker. So yeah, again, definitely push that up. Go use your ladles, and you know, just go at it. I'm going to assume you have all this done. Yes. Ooh, you don't have anyone linked to Arctis. Are they in lab? So I want to address something for the free-to-play players out there, or at least the ones who are duteless. So Arctis is really good. It is so good. The reason Arctis is good is because it gives you minimum talent levels. It is, by and far, minimum talent levels is one of the most important things that you should absolutely go out of the way towards increasing. If you are not linked to Arctis, you are not getting the minimum talent levels. And based on the fact your whole upgrades were showing gods and not all stat percent in the Conjurer bonus here, makes me... it's a dead giveaway you do not have Doot. Actually, it says you... Forget what I said. I guess it just doesn't show. But for those of you who don't know, linking to Arctis is really important. The reason is because it has minimum talent levels. So really important for you to do that. I see you're linked in the hole. Forget what I said. Apologies for the misdirection there. I guess linking, you have Arctis and Omnifal linked from the hole. So that leaves the question of who else do you link to. I think linking to Goat God's completely fine here, strictly because that is giving you all AFK gain on all of your characters. Every single character is linked here. You have your Elemental Sorcerers linked to Goat God. I don't even know why you're linked to Badger here, but you're linked to Permeep here as well, which is also pretty... We want at least one character linked to Permeep. That's really good. But Goat God gives you AFK gains for all of your characters, so that's really good. I would take your style off of Mindful. Despite what you might think, you are not connected to lab right now. Your character is active in lab, but it is not connected. There's a key difference here. For those who are just now getting Doot or just linking because of Pocket Divinity, you are not gaining Divinity EXP if you are not inside of lab. Like I'm talking this type of connection. You are not gaining Divinity EXP if you have Mindful. If you have Tranquil, you're fine. If you are linked to Mindful and you are not in this activity, in this screen right here, and you're linked to Goat God, you are not getting Divinity EXP. You're getting 0 Divinity EXP and 0 Divinity points every single hour, because the game's code strictly says here from Arctis, they will not gain any lab EXP. Because you're not getting lab EXP, you're not getting Divinity points. So I'm sorry if you got fooled by the logic between Arctis and Goat God. A lot of people fall into that trap, but I do want to point that out. Rechange your prayer styles for these characters so they actually level up in Divinity, because I imagine your Divinity levels in these characters might be a little low. 150 is not bad, but yeah, it could be higher. You're just kind of wasting time on that. Just FYI. Okay, skill levels. With the tome, getting 1,000 levels in cooking is actually not that bad. I would consider doing it. Just take some balloons on your characters and just go level it up to show you kind of how easy it is. Again, I apologize for not zooming in. Yet I kind of look like trash right now because it's late at night and I am tired. I am level 102 in cooking on this character. Obviously, I am a little further progressed than you are, so I have a lot more cooking EXP sources, but still the tome is... sorry, not tome, but the vault is the best source of cooking EXP, so if you have that, which you do, You should be able to get to at least like 75 cooking. Should be an absolute joke to you. 100 might take a few more balloons. But yeah, in this time of me ranting and talking about balloons, I gained, what, 4 levels or something there? Yeah. So go use your balloons. that's the short of it there. Also, I want to use my things. So yeah, that's free skill levels, and obviously with free skill levels, that means you are getting more bravery sword damage. So you can get another 500 account skill levels here relatively easily, like no cost to you. So I would consider doing that, get more sword damage, and be able to push bravery a little bit further than you are right now. Also, it just helps you get more printer output, which gets you more atom generation, all more skill EXP, which helps you level up the other skills a little bit faster. Also help. Like you're trapping, you can also get to like level 1000, but you need to turtle bile a little bit. And I don't know, bunch of stuff you can do here. Get on cooking, the easiest way to get levels right now for you. Hey, you never know. Okay, slab grind. I think this is probably going to be the last thing I want to talk about. Since I'm writing down my timer. I think my wife might start getting angry if I stay here too long for this review. But looking at slab, maybe consider doing a little bit of slab grinding. I see a lot of opals that you can do. A lot of this stuff comes from Alchemy Shop, just kind of upgrading it. Bronze opal of cards, you need to get lucky in Alchemy Shop, I believe. I think you can get an alchemy. But this right here just takes a lot of upgrading, kind of swapping between zones, checking slab to make sure this registers here. Pop opals as well, even though they're not efficient to get here, just get it here for slab. A lot of this, some of the stuff I see here are boss drops. I see Blighted Cheese or Scarf. The boost food, this just takes a lot more active grinding with the Picnic Stowaway quest line. You can actually reclaim the small material pouch. Shout out to Jedrid, by the way. I actually learned this from Jedrid. What a fucking goat. But one of the quest lines for the small material pouch, you can actually go back and reclaim it, and I obviously can't remember what the quest is. So I got to miniature mining pouch. No, I think it was I think it's reclaiming the junk pickaxe. But yeah, these quests are now reclaimable, so you should be able to go and get this for slab. Inventory bag D, by the way, if you need that for your characters. Bag A is mini material pouch, small material pouch. There you go. And there you are. So you can go reclaim it and go get your slab. There's that right there. That's pretty easy. Some of this stuff, again, is just really craftable. Some of this stuff is quest related. This is craftable. A lot of this comes from sneaking and just, yeah, this is craftable. This you just need to equip the star sign for to be able to drop this. Equip this on Bubo, go do some cranium cooking. You get this done in like minutes. This right here comes from Catherine 15. Dungeon right here. I think you have like 10 to 20 items you can grind out in slab, and again, it's just you know, it's relatively easy. You get a little bit of everything from it. So go do a little bit of slab grinding, you'll thank yourself. Also, isn't there like a bubble for something slab related? Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, it's like base stats per slab item you found. So get on slab grind. Again, as you're kind of in the end game, there's a lot more grindy things for you to focus on and do. So I have no other advice than to say, go and do it. So I wish you the best of luck, man. We talked a lot about the hole. We talked a lot about, I want to say a lot of it was the hole. A lot of it was cooking, doing a little bit of math, talking about blood marrow and the impact that has on your account for cooking. Especially right now, you don't want to neglect. You want to really min-max the No Meal Left Behind to really impact that for your account. It's really important to take full advantage of No Meal Left Behind, even if you only have the Jade Emporium upgrade for +1 instead of the +3. Sorry, the additional +2 from the Sacred Methods pack. It's still really important for you to focus on trying to min-max those meal levels, especially when you're in the low, less than 1k ladle cost for your meals. It's just really no effort whatsoever to really get those meal levels up. So may as well consider doing that. Also, in terms of your whole progress, definitely focusing on villager EXP more than the other upgrades you are in some of those monuments is definitely going to help you a ton as well. So I wish you the best of luck, Birdie. I'll see you guys in the next video. And again, if you are on the review list, I highly recommend trying to give me a toolbox link so I can actually look at that. Idleon efficiency, like I said, just doesn't have a lot of resources for me to use and go off of versus toolbox does. So I highly recommend, again, just messaging me in Discord, sending me DM, sending me a message in Idleon chat, Idleon advanced, whatever, so I can go and update that on the account review. Again, if you already have one account and want your account reviewed, just go upload toolbox. I will get to the people of efficiency if you don't update it, just because, you know, you're on the list. Why not? Okay, anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day. Bye. Hey there, guys. It's Bane here. I just wanted to say deeply thank you to everyone who does support me over on YouTube and or Twitch. It really does help motivate me to continue making more videos. If you would like to become a channel member just starting at $1 a month, please check the description below. Have a great day.